The name Ball Ground comes from the Cherokee Indians who played their style of stickball on land not far from here. Because of the town's heritage, Ball Ground School was destined to produce some outstanding and remarkable athletes.
Well, I can remember that it was very interesting how Ball Ground got a gym. I think it was probably right after World War II, and prior to the time, I guess they built it in the very early 50s. And I remember the gym that people in the community would come in on Saturday, some of the men would, and work on it. About the only thing that wasn't done by men in the community was, I remember, the steel beams. They came in and set those, and then all the people in the community would work in it. And it was, at the time it was built, that gym was probably the best one in the county because it didn't have the posts down beside it. You could run up and down the floor.
My dad, Mr. Harris, and Mr. Avery, and a lot of people went in, gave money, and lumber. Mr. Harris gave lumber, Star Lumber Company gave lumber. A lot of people worked, a lot of people brought money from school, you know, and built it. And then when it was built, we turned it over to the, or they did, the adults did, to the educational board. But it was just a plain gym. We didn't have no dressing rooms in. You had to dress in the home economics room. And the first year I played, we had homemade suits. And then I had to have special shorts because Mother wouldn't let me wear short shorts. I had shorts down to my knees. My brother Johnny I'd roll him up at the games, and then I'll tell on you now if you don't work, you got to do this for me. So I had to make up his bed and iron his clothes, keep him from telling Mother I rolled up my shorts. But later we did get some decent suits.
Oh yeah, I left to play ball. I wouldn't have went home. I wouldn't have went home to eat dinner, but they made me. I just stayed up there and played ball. We played down in front of the church. There's a flat place, that's where we practiced. But when we had a game, we went to Nelson to play. And I jumped center, and Sue always jumped center. I reckon we could jump higher than anybody else.
Well, I just coached here 1 year. Bill Hasty who was my junior high coach, also was county school superintendent after that. And when I graduated from college, he wanted me to come and be the coach at Cherokee High. And I said, well, the school's not open. I said, I got to have a job, you know, this year. And he said, well, I've got a job for you. You go to Ball Ground. I said, okay. So I went there and coached both boys and girls basketball team and track team.
I did play on the elementary team. You know, elementary basketball in Cherokee County at that time was probably the biggest event in the counties. The county tournament was a great thing. And you know, we'd play, North Canton always had a good team, Canton had a good team, and of course Ball Ground, we'd win every once in a while and win the tournament, but it was a lot of competition. I think there were like maybe 15, 16 elementary schools in the county, and it was a good deal. And you know, basketball then was about the only thing there was extra in the school to do.
We had a good football team, but we had an awesome basketball team. That team went undefeated that year, won the county championship, and I guess one of the highlights of that year was we played Milton's B team and beat them on their home court.
I was very fortunate. I thought in 7th grade I was like the first sub, and we won the county that year, but we lost 2 or 3 games. My 8th grade, fortunate to have 5 of us that had a lot of experience and pretty good sized boys, and we went through a season undefeated and went through the county tournament undefeated. And I thought what was so interesting, Gene Norton and Young Smith were our coaches, and they took us everywhere. We went to New Holland and Gainesville, played against 9th grade team over at Milton, down at Lovett, up to Fairmount. So we traveled quite a bit and played a lot of ball, but it was really fun. Just a lot of good memories from that, and a joy to be undefeated.
I can't remember exactly, but I think it was the 1964-65 girls team. We won our region championship, but we lost out the first round of the county championship. The next year, We played Woodstock in the finals in the county tournament and won by 1 point. Great bunch of girls. Judy Napier, Deborah Andrews, Jenny Wheeler, Janice Robertson, Judy Quarles, Joy Ray, and Yolande Brown. Just a great group of kids.
Of course, I always went to watch my brothers play ball. Roy and Glenn played. They played, so we were always at the gym and watching them play and the girls' team before them play. Certainly got me very interested in it. So that's when I started wanting to play too.
I can never forget though, when I first come there, we had a football team and I helped with it. And we'd have to run, we didn't have about 11 or 12 kids. So we'd run 6 or 7 on each side. And when we got to our first game, one of the boys came over to me and says, "Where'd that other group come from?" That was just, you know, his idea that they weren't supposed to be there because we didn't practice against them.
Charles Jenkins played football on our football team. And Eugene McWhirter had been an assistant coach with me early on when I was at Ball Ground, and he'd gone to Midway in Forsyth County. And Charles was running back. And the first quarter, Charles scored 3 touchdowns. And on that 3rd touchdown, he fell in the end zone, and it's just like he'd been knocked out. And I ran out to check on him, and I leaned down, and Charles said, "I'm just resting." Never will forget that.
My 6th grade, I remember Billy Joe Groover was coaching along with young Smith, and he's pretty upset with us about something. He made us run, I don't know, 10, 15 laps. He got through, he called us over and says, "Boys, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have made you do that." So he made us run them backwards. And he counted them, he took them off. So when we run the same number of laps backwards, he said, "Now we're at 0." So, you know, he was a lot of fun to be around, and he did little things, you know, keep things interesting, but it was like that.
I remember playing Kenton. Kenton always was a hard team you'd play them once or twice during the year, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times. The same team, you play them 3 times. If you beat them twice, it's hard to beat them that 3rd time. Something they figure out about you playing them twice and what they did wrong, so they're going to double team your best player or the one that shoots the ball the best.
Oh, being a cheerleader at Ball Ground was a big deal. I started out when I was 5, I was a mascot. And of course, I thought that was really a big deal. I had my little uniform just like the big girls, you know, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls. And of course, I thought they were just stars. They were somebody special, you know. And we got to go to all the basketball games, and it was really, really exciting for a little kid, you know. And I got all the special treatment too because I was the cute little kid, you know. And then I was a cheerleader also in the 7th and 8th grade, and again, that was it was a big deal for us. And then, of course, the county tournaments held down at Cherokee High School with all 13 elementary schools. It went on for days, packed that gym every night for half a dozen games or so.
It's real hard to describe that gym with the feel, the capacity, especially on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. We played all during the week, but on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Cherokee's gym was just packed and people out in the lobby. And it was really something to get to the finals.
Then we had our big sports banquets at the end of the year when they handed out all the awards, and of course for us it was a really big deal. It was in the cafeteria, but we had candles. And we'd have steak, and really not necessarily good steak, but because I remember one year they didn't have steak knives in the school cafeteria. That would have probably been a really bad idea, but we did have just, you know, plain old dull knives, but they weren't cutting our steaks. And Tommy Shaw had a pocket knife that had a sharp blade on it, and we passed it around so we could cut our steaks.
Bye.